It's actually really amazing how many people that you have in your life that are so supportive of this journey. It sounds like in this philosophy, sometimes those of us that are starting this work, the most resistance that you can face, unfortunately, is from friends and families. They're very lucky to have you and vice versa. Really cool. This is a big question. I just didn't want to ignore it because this person's been so active the whole time. So, someone with IBS, very weak immunity, and has body acne, what tests would you recommend to them? And Sachi, I want to hear from you as well, but I want to explain something here. When I asked what was the one test that Sachi could run, you might have noticed I also said I'm being a bad FDN here by asking that. And the reason that I asked that is because we always try to start with these FDN foundational tests, regardless of what the person is dealing with. And here's why we didn't just pull this out of thin air. When someone gets chronically ill in today's world, whether it's IBS, whether it's acne, both, an autoimmune disease, other gut issues, or whatever, there is a predictable kind of series of events that happens. One, the person is under chronic stress in some way or another, right? That happened. So hormones are going to be out of whack. Another thing that's going to occur is your gut gets compromised because you guys might have heard this before. When you're in that fight or flight constantly, the body says, we don't need to break down food properly because we need to focus on you staying alive right now. So fight or flight prevents you from breaking down foods and doing all that stuff properly. So then what happens? The gut becomes compromised, digestion goes down, you become more prone to parasitic and bacterial infections. Oh, now you develop food sensitivities. Oh, now there's a backed up liver and all that kind of stuff. So our tests actually look at all of those things I just said and more. We're following that predictable path that almost anyone who goes through chronic illness will follow through. So the reason I'm not trying to avoid your question here, but we would actually still recommend starting with the FDN foundationals, but also just to give a direct answer, listen, I'm happy with humoring it. I'd be a hypocrite to not answer this because I asked it myself. So actually, if you could only run one test, would this still be, I'm guessing, the GI map for this one or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. It's a good
Yes.
question though. And if this person, that I did think it was the same person that asked about UAE, this will be something that's important to understand. If you are considering going through the FDN course, you'll want to fully grasp this concept because it's important. If you understand why we're running these foundational labs, you're like, oh, I get how this can work just as well for IBS, autoimmune, skin issues. That's a good question. Unfortunately, we are getting towards the end of our time here, so I want to make sure we have more than enough time to shout out your actual business. So if people are interested in working with you, by the way, you're a fantastic speaker and presenter. You come across as very confident. I don't know if you've had to do this stuff outside of this, but I would like to work with you.